Good morning. My name is Harry Bhatia. I'm from NetActivity. We've been getting a lot of queries in relevance with COVID-19, people looking to work from home, what functionality is available for users. We have decided to record this webinar in relevance with the functionality available to users. This is not a technical deep dive into any of the solutions. If you're looking for a technical deep dive, we will come back with a different webinar. For now, this is about functionality from a user's perspective. So let's get started. So let's get going on our remote functionality for users. Quick 3-4 slides, and then we'll get into the demo. Agenda for today, a little bit of an introduction for NetActivity, remote work with modern workspace in a box. Our solution is called Modern Workspace in a Box. We'll explain a little bit more about how our solution works. As a remote worker, what are you looking for? What's the user looking for? They want to collaborate with their colleagues, which is a little bit more difficult than sitting in the office, but nevertheless, collaboration between colleagues is required by most users. Communicate with their clients, very important. How do we keep in touch with our clients and be accessible to clients? Accessing web-based solutions. Most companies have some or the other solutions based on their website or e-commerce solution and so on and so forth. Accessing company data. Company data could be in files, typical drives in the office, and databases. Somebody might have QuickBooks, Great Plains, different CRM systems, different SQL database-based systems, which are accessible from the office. How do we access those? So those are the quick functionality we're going to cover as to what the user's requirements are, and then we'll go from there. NetActivity, our mission is simply to make our clients more effective, more competitive in their industry with using information technology. A little bit about NetActivity. We were established in 2002. We have 2 locations, one in Cleveland, in Garfield Heights, and in South Bend, Indiana. Our major lines of business are security, disaster recovery, cloud services with Microsoft. We are a tier 1 CSP, and voice services, phones with Teams and so on and so forth. My contact information, in case anybody wants to touch base, ask any questions. So with that, let's get into the solution. So the first thing we want to look at is, from a user's perspective, is files. We all have files in the office, and they're generally different drive letters for different departments, different areas of business. So for us, in our modern workspace in a box, our solution, the way we see files on any file explorer are all our files right here. We anything which is got a green check mark is synced to my laptop, so I can open it right here without internet access. I can go in and open these files at my convenience. So, so let's say I'm going to open this Azure book. So this obviously opens right here, and it's a 200-page file, which is just being opened right now. So that, or let's say we want to open a Word document, and right there is our Word document. We can work on it. And so no VPN, no IT, configurations. You take your laptop, you got your internet, you have your files. And these files are secure depending upon who's allowed into what folder here. And so those are available to us. And we can sync them, we can work on them, and they'll sync up to Microsoft and be available to other users within the company. So those are the company files. And then we can talk about your personal files, which are used to be your H drive, your home drive on your office file server. So there are my documents, right? So all my files are here, my personal, my office files, they're all here. Um, and again, they are synced. So, anytime I um, do any changes, they're synced up to Microsoft. So if I lose my laptop, everything is there at Microsoft site. I can create a new connection, and it is all in place. So those are the files, simple. So that's the easiest part of it, having access to your files, office files and personal files, right? Though they belong to my office, and so those files are there. So the next thing most everybody needs is obviously email. So let's jump into Outlook. Typical Outlook emails, nothing different. Everybody has pretty much Office 365, and your emails are there on your phone, on your laptop. So I'm not going to dive anything further into it. But looking at calendars, right? So we all do create appointments, call meetings all the time. So if you notice, you can, obviously call a new appointment here, new meeting, and you can do a new meeting or what is called a Teams meeting. We'll jump a little bit into Teams. So in Teams, I can call a meeting from, let's call a demo meeting, and let's call a couple of people from my office. Derek Gravers, our service manager, John Marions, our CFO. So call them for a meeting today at, let's do about 10:30. So we'll call a quick meeting. If you notice, in here is also a telephone number. This is an add-on option to Teams, which is about $4 a month, which allows you for a conference number. If somebody doesn't have Teams and they are working from the cell phone, they just want to dial, they can dial this number and use the conference ID to join the conference. So this allows us to create a Teams meeting. Here's our meeting, and the meeting is set up. So that's a quick side from Outlook perspective. The third thing one might want to use is apps. So let's look at, so let's say you want to get into QuickBooks. So you have one password, the same password as you had for your email. If anybody's worked in QuickBooks, you know it takes a few seconds for it to start. And here I am in test database for QuickBooks. And I can print to my home printer or whatever printer is available locally to me. So I can go and enter bills. I can, so the responsiveness of this is immediate. There's no delay, lag in it. So this is just a test database. I don't have any data in here, so I'm going to exit here. Just to talk about another app. So this is an old archived CRM for us called TigerPaw. The reason I'm opening it is based on SQL database. Most companies have some or the other database, and this allows me to get into all our historic data about sales, inventory, all that kind of fun system. So this is, as I said, archive database, and it allows only one user at a time. So somebody else is working, and it's going to give me issue connecting right now, but but I can connect in here. So that allows me to work from anywhere. So as I mentioned before, we haven't VPN'd in anywhere. There is no mumbo jumbo by IT to take care of any of that. So long you have internet, you're securely working with one user ID password to be able to get into your email, your files, into your applications, your ERP, and so on and so forth. And then let's jump into the part we have not covered. We've covered up till now your files, your email, your applications. And so let's jump into collaborating with your colleagues. So we use Microsoft Teams for that. And in Microsoft Teams, top right shows my presence, right? So I'm available right now. I can change my presence. Obviously, I can change my picture. I can go in here and make other settings change a language, so on and so forth. But that's that part. Starting from top here, I can look at the activity, whatever activity I've had till now. I can go in and start a new chat. So, so Jared, I can go in and go, testing chat with you, right? So I can just send him a text message. And in here, besides doing chat with one person, I can add more people to the chat. I can create groups, so I can add another person. Justin's another gentleman who works for us. I can add him to the chat, so on and so forth. In here, I can define teams, and each of the teams is, as you would recollect from our drives here, our files here are similar to the teams here. And this allows us to be able to communicate. Let's say the way we have defined it, if I wanted to just chat with some in accounting department, I could go into accounting and type a chat here, and everybody in accounting would see it. And it'll keep the history as to what has been talked about, right? So that allows me to keep those things over there. This chat, if we were chatting with one person, right, is one-to-one chat or one-to-many, depending upon. And Teams is a chat where conversation where it'll keep a history, and anybody in that team can then see it in a team. So for example, I can go in this team and see who are the members of the team, right? So there are two people who are in the management and the officers team. So only those two people have access in anything in this team. So looking at teams further, so I have a team called demo, for example. If I get into demo, I can see what posts are there. I can also, in my tabs, attach websites, for example. So here's right now what's going on CNN. So very simple. Click on plus, choose what you want to do, add a website, right? And you can do HTTP. You have to give the name. Let's say we wanted to add Net Activities website, and we can go in HTTPS. It has to be secure, and www.netactivity.us. So that gives us so this is our company's website. And by the way, the modern workspace in a box, which I was talking about as a solution, is available right here. If you choose to learn a little bit more about it, you can click on Modern Workspace in a Box and it'll give you all the information. There's a little quick video in here, what it includes, and the details around here. So getting back to these tabs, you can attach, for example, I'm in sales department, you can attach videos. This is a video coming out of YouTube. It's a client of ours who we saved X amount of money for their solution. So these are typical things you keep looking for within your files. These can be added right here in as tabs in these teams. So easy to collaborate, easy to find things. Looking at further, there are things that you keep searching for. For example, if we go into Teams, here's holiday schedule, right? This is how many times you look for holiday schedule as to, what are the holidays we will be having this year, right? So you can, things which you can pin up easily. It's just basically an Excel document, nothing more than that. And then, we can do 2020, 2021. People don't have to, keep asking as to, are we off on that day? Which Thursday, Friday do we need to take off? And so on and so forth. So a lot of things which can be done depending upon different organizations, what access we need, and go from there. And furthermore, from here is your calendar, the same calendar as in your Outlook, right? So we just created this demo meeting a few minutes ago in Outlook. It's already a few minutes from now. And then from here on, there's in Teams is also our phones. So I can call anybody from here, click on somebody, and I want to do a video call or just an audio call, right? So I can say I want to do an audio call to this person. I'm not going to make the call, but I can also go in, and so in here is my direct line. This is my direct line. I can make a call to anyone, any telephone number, obviously, so if I'm going to, so this is my cell in this case. So here's a call going through. I'm again not going to complete this, but those things are available. And any calls coming to me, all theirs are in the history, what calls have happened. Voicemails come in here. So if there is a voicemail, somebody left your voicemail, it is transcribed, so you can easily see what they said before you even try to listen to it. If you're contacts, all your contacts are available to dial. I can take anyone in here and say I want to dial it, right? Business call right there, click, and you can start it. Or I can block the person. So if that person is somebody who you don't want to listen to, you can block it. So they're fully integrated into to be available from wherever you are. And the calls you make from here show your office number. They don't show your home number or your cell number or so that keeps that integrated. So quick, available. Since this functionality, our emails to employees internally have gone close to zero. So we live off here, we chat, we pass information very quickly. Obviously, there are all kinds of gifts and things you can have fun with. Talk about a little bit of fun in the office. So that's where we are right now, and let's try and see if we. So let's do our call. I'm going to join this meeting.
Oh, everyone was for a different machine?
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So just trying to record this for our session to be able to show video conferencing and being able to share our desktops and be able to work together. So John, do you want to show your desktop and see if we can use that from there? We are recording.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, guys. Yeah, here, hold on. I will share my desktop. So, in lieu of a face-to-face meeting, this is what it would be like to be able to share the information. So this, if we were going through this in real time, we could do this, and it's just as good as sitting in a meeting room with handouts, and I could be going through, sales by representative, as you see here. Sharing a desktop is as easy as a click, and I'm not a techie, so I can attest to that.
So one of the things we can also do is, on here is to start recording. So you can click on start recording, and then as the meeting finishes, a link will appear to be able to have that available in case you need that for other purposes. So John, thank you. Jared, can you see if you can blur your background? So you can see if we can. Yeah, there you go. So if you don't want to show your background for any reasons, you can easily blur your background. So the functionality is pretty simple. You share your desktop from this arrow here. You can choose to share which desktop you want to share. You can do recording. You can chat. You can see who all are in the meeting. Those functionalities are right there. So gentlemen, thank you so much. Just a quick access to video recording and meeting for our remote users. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. So with that, we are going to end this seminar. By the way, the functionality you saw on this laptop is similar, is the same actually with an iPad, or you could use an iPad, a desktop, a laptop, and the functionality remains the same. Hope you have a great day, stay safe, and we'll be back with more. Thank you so much for taking the time to see this webinar.